Alright guys, so now that we have our index and about page done as far as the display, the UI, I want to create our listings app and also our realtors app. Okay, so once we do this, we should have two new folders, listings and realtors, and it'll be similar to the pages folder structure with all the admin.py, the apps, models, tests, URLs, and views. Well, actually, URLs we create ourselves. So let's go ahead and generate these apps. So we're going to say Python, make sure you're in your virtual environment. We're going to say Python manage.py, and we want to do start app, and we're going to create an app called listings. Okay, so now over to the left, you can see it created a folder called listings. Let's do the same with realtors. Okay, so realtors is, listings, obviously we have the listings page, we have the single listing page and all that stuff. We have the search page. That's going to be part of the listings app. Realtors is more just for the model. We're not going to have any templates or views for realtors. It's just to basically to be able to add realtors through the admin area and then basically form a relationship between the realtor and the listing. Okay, so let's start off by adding our listings templates. So we're going to go into, let's see, templates, and let's create a special folder for listing templates. So I'll call this listings. And inside here, we'll create a folder called listing.html, okay, singular. That's for the single listing page. We also want listings, plural, for, you know, the list of listings. And let's also create one called search.html. Okay, so those are all the templates that we need. Now, for listings, we're going to have some URLs, obviously, that we need to connect to. So that means we need to create its own urls.py. So inside the main listings folder here, we're going to create a new file called urls.py. And this is going to be similar to what we did with pages urls.py, so I'm actually going to just copy that and bring that over to the new one here. So we want to import path, we want to import from views, URL patterns. For just, if we leave this empty, this pertains to slash listings, or at least it will. So we want that to call the index method inside of the listings views folder, or views file. Okay, and we'll name this listings. Okay, let's see, for the single listings, we actually want it to look like this. So it'll be our, whatever our URL is, slash listings slash, and then the ID, like let's say listings 23. So we need to include a parameter in our URL here. So it'll be slash listings and then the ID. So what we need to do is put in some angle brackets, and we need to put the type that we want, which is going to be an int, and then what we want to call it, which is going to be listing underscore ID. Okay, so that'll be how we can actually access this parameter from within the view method. So we'll have this go to views.listing. That'll be the name of the method, and then the name we'll call listing. Okay, singular. And then the last URL we're going to need here is going to be the search. So we'll call this search, and it'll go to a method called search. And as far as the URL, we want it to be listings slash search. So we just want to put in search here. Okay. And the reason we're not putting in like listings slash search here is because we're actually going to link this to the main urls.py and tell it that anything that has listing slash should look at this file. So let's save this, and we're going to now head over, and we're going to get errors here because we haven't created these methods yet, but let's head over to the main btre urls.py, and we want to do the same thing we did with our pages app. Okay, and another thing we have to do is add our app to the settings file, which I always forget to do. So let's go ahead and just create another one here, and this time we're going to do listings slash. Okay, so anything that is listings slash is going to go to listings.urls. So let's save that, and then let's go to our settings file before I forget again. So we'll go to settings.py and go up to where the apps are, which are installed apps, and let's copy this down twice. We want to bring in listings dot apps dot listings config, and then we also want to bring in our realtors. So this will be realtors config. It'll be realtors.apps. Okay, so we'll save that. So now we need to create our view methods. So in our urls.py for listings, we have index, listing, and search. So let's create those. So we'll go into views, and let's see, we're gonna get rid of that. Let's do define index. So index is going to be just the main listings page. Okay, this takes in a request, and what we're going to do here is render the listings view. So we want to render, which is already brought in above, pass in the request, and then the view we want to render is going to be in listings, and it's going to be listings.html. Okay, so now what I'll do is just copy this and paste that in. Let's do it one more time. So we have index, we also have just listing, and what I'm going by is this right here: index, listing, and search. So those are the three view methods that we want to create right now. So listing, and the template that will load is going to be listing.html. Then we have search, and that's going to load the search.html. Okay, now as far as the HTML pages, for now let's just put H1s in there. So we'll say this is listing. We'll save that. This one is listings. Save that. And then this one is search. Save that. Okay, so now if we try to resave this urls.py, those errors go away. Okay, let's just check on our server, make sure that's still running. Okay, so that looks okay. Let's see, what do I have this open? I guess I can close one of these. I'll close that one up. All right, so now let's go to our application, and let's try to go to /listings. Okay, so we get an error. Let's see, page not found. Why does it say about? Let's see, I think I messed something up here. Let's check the root urls.py. So path listings / include listings.urls. That should be right. And then we have our listings app urls.py, which looks like this. So views.index, name equals listings, so that looks all right. And then we have our views. URL define. You know what? Let's current path listings didn't match any of these. Oh, I have just listing. This should have an S on the end. All right, let's try that. Okay, so we get a different error. The view listings dot view index didn't return an HTTP response object, and that's because I didn't return the render. So let's go back to views and make sure that we actually return these. And I could edit this stuff out, guys, but I really don't like to, because it's just real stuff. It's stuff that happens in real life, and I don't like tutorials and courses that are just cookie cutter, and it's not, you know, it's not realistic to never forget something or make mistakes or anything like that. And it's important for new developers to know that. So let's save this, and let's go back and reload, And there we go. So now we're loading our listings template. Now remember, we didn't extend the base HTML, so that's why we're not seeing any of the bootstrap formatting or anything like that. So let's do that. Let's go to listings.html, and from here we want to extend the base HTML. So let's go up top and put in our tags, and we'll say extends base.html, and then of course we need our block. So we want to say block content, and right under that we want to end the block. Okay, so now if we save that and go back and reload, now we have our Chrome. Basically, what I mean by Chrome is like our wrapper, our bootstrap wrapper. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna work on the listings page for now. I just want to get at least just the static stuff here. So what I'll do is go to my Sublime text where I have just the theme, and go to our listings.html, and we want to grab everything that is under the nav bar, so this section here, all the way down to right above the footer. Because remember, the footer, the nav bar, that stuff is all included in a partial inside the main layout. So we want everything down to the footer. And then we'll go back to listings.html. We're just going to paste that stuff in here. And let's save it and go back and reload. And there we go. Now we're not going to see the images because the images are actually going to come from when we go to the admin area and we upload a listing. We're going to upload those. We're going to upload some images, and that's what we'll show here. So I'm not going to mess around and just put a static image here just for show. It doesn't really matter right now. Okay, but let's see. What I do want to do is I want to add a link for this to go to home. Right now it's going to go to index.html, which obviously we don't want. And then these should go to, right now they go to listing.html, but we want these to go to the single listing page. So it'll be listings / and then whatever the ID is. All right. Well, I guess we'll do that after because we don't actually have IDs yet. So let's at least add to the breadcrumb link. So we'll go up to, let's see, where is it? Here's the breadcrumb. So right here, we're going to go like that. We're going to say URL, and we want this to go to the home page, which is in the index. Okay. Now, let me just try that real quick. Okay, so that works. Now, when we create the database, we create our listings model, we create all of our tables and stuff, what we'll do is reach into the database, pass the listings into the view, into the template from the view or from the views.py, and then we'll loop through the listings and output one of these divs, okay? Because right now we have listing 1, listing 2. We're not going to need all of this markup. We're only going to need to loop through the listings and output one of these and have dynamic, like the price will be dynamic. It'll be whatever the price for that current listing is and stuff like that. All right, so this will be, overall, this will be a much smaller file when we're done. Same with most of the HTML stuff. All right, so let's see. Now what I want to do is I want this to actually go to the listings page. So let's head over to the nav bar, which is a partial. So we want to go to templates, partials _ nav bar. And right now it goes to index. We want to change that to listings. Okay, so that should now work. Let's try it out. So if we reload this page and go to featured listings, there we go. Now we don't have it highlighted, so we want to do the same thing that we did with the other ones. So I'm going to copy this li with the conditional inside of it, and I'm going to paste this in place of this li like that, and we're just going to test for listings. Okay, we'll save that, go back, let's reload, and now we have a highlighted listings link. All right, cool. So that's going to be it for this, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.